So dear students, welcome to online classes, Bangalore University Digital Learning. So today in my session I am discussing about the novel Animal Farm. We also discussed about some important themes and the characters and the narration of chapter 2nd in the last session. Now in this session I will continue my discussion with chapter 2nd and its analysis. With this I will begin my session. Uh, See, dear students, in this novel, Animal Farm, as we had seen that this novel is a complete replica of Russian Revolution. The representation of all leaders which we will observe in the Animal Farm, that is beautifully described by the novelist George Orwell. So, what happened at the end of the chapter 2 means, see the death of old Major in the chapter first, that will make you a lot of sense to understand the rebellion and the moment when the animals must begin to put his theory into practice. Every animal is very busy in order to put the theory of old Major into practice. For the remainder of the novel, Orwell depicts the ever widening gulf between the vision expounded by old Major and the animals attempt to realize it. See, dear friends, as we had witnessed a very optimistic and liberal dream of old Major, what he wanted all animals means every animal must feel equality, everyone must get what they deserve, and everyone should be free. All animals are equal. That is what he wanted. His dream. So that the names of the pigs. There comes the matter of the names of the pigs, chosen to lead the revolution in order to reveal their personality. See, when pigs have taken over the leadership and they have chosen as leaders, the pigs inside the novel, they are considered as intelligent, brilliant, and very thought-provoking animals. So that Snowball's name suits the revolution in general. Snowball, whenever we are talking about this is a important thing, dear students have to notice. Snowball is always representing the kind of sympathy and a very good nature towards animals. Is a unquestionable leader in which Snowball and grows until at the novel's end the animal rulers completely resemble their previous masters. See, at the end of the novel, what we are going to looking at, see, all the leaders are resembling the previous masters. No better choices they are having at the end of the novel. See, what we are looking into in this particular chapter means Napoleon's name suggests his stern leadership style. Napoleon, very admirable and looking at a staunch kind of a leadership, and is a kind of representation after the Lenin, the corrupt politician, and who is seeking for power, and power ultimately corrupts, make him to corrupt. So that, and of course his incredible lust for power, he is always running behind power. He wants the power. That power ultimately comes to him, and which he becomes more pronounced with each chapter. See, he is becoming a central figure in each and every chapter, obviously, when he is elected as a leader. So that Squealer, you will have a look at the character of Squealer. As his name suggests that he becomes the mouthpiece of all the pigs, and his habit of skipping from side to side, see, he is like a person who can change every now and then. He shifts according to the situation, according to the circumstances. Like that, see, he shifts from his nature from one side to another side. While arguing some difficult point, he dramatizes in physical way. What the smooth talking pig, so called the squealer, will later do in a rhetorical sense. He can change, and he can change his behavior according to the circumstance, according to the situations, so that he is the mouthpiece of animals, all the animals, and he can deceive the other animals very easily in his hypocritic thought. Every time he is faced with a question or objection, and whenever Snowball, sorry, Wheeler is facing a kind of a question or an objection for his thought, he will skip that matter and he will turn around the topic into the different manner, as usually using convoluted logic and to prove his point. He is always there behind logic in order to prove his point, whatever the wrong things which are uttered by him. So that the animal's original vision for their society stems from noble ideals. Orwell was a socialist himself in his nature, and he supported the creation of a government in which moral dignity and social equality would take precedence over selfish individual interest. You can have a look at the selfish individual interest inside the novel, especially referring to the chapter 2. The Russian revolutionaries began with such ideas as well as Marx certainly touted notions like these in his writings on animal farm. However, as was the case in Russian Revolution, power is quickly consolidated in the hands of those who devise, maintain, and participating in the running of the society. See, the power that matters, they always supposed to maintain the kind of a leadership in order to exhibit their leadership as a very powerful personality. The intelligentsia, for example, as usually you can look at the animal form with pigs. This class of Russians and their allies quickly turned the Communist Party toward totalitarianism, an event mirrored in animal form by the gradual assumption of power by the pigs. See, the gradual assumptions of the power by the pigs, you can have a look at it throughout the novel. See, the pigs are considered as a brilliant animals, intellectual animals, intelligent and incredible. After Lenin's seizure of power, Communist Party leaders began jockeying for position and power. See what happens? After Lenin's seizure of power, every leader wants to get to take out of the power, so that each hoping to seize control after Lenin's death. Snowball and Napoleon, whose power struggle develops fully in the next chapters, are based on two real communist leaders such as the Snowball shares traits with the fiery, intelligent leader Leon Trotsky. He is a representative of Leon Trotsky, Snowball, an intelligent personality, a fiery personality, and who will be leading his team from the front, while the lurking, subversive Napoleon has much in common with the later dictator Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin, we can see in the behavior and the control and the power which we will notice inside the novel, that is Napoleon. Orwell's descriptions in this chapter of the pre-rebellion misery of the farm animals serve his critique of social inequality and the mistreatment of workers. See, you can have a look at the important thing how social inequality and mistreatment for the workers operating so beautifully inside the novel through the through some depictions. They also make a pointed statement about humans' abuse of animals. See, as we are looking at the humans' abuse of animals, so Mr. Jones is a very tyrannical ruler, a cruel ruler, and did not have any sympathy, so that you will easily notice that the humans are always abusing the farm animals. Indeed, the same impulse that led Orwell to sympathize with the poor and oppressed human beings made him lament the cruelty that many human beings show toward other species. Many human beings, they are showing their kind of attitude toward other species like animals. He got the idea for animal farm while watching a young boy. But this is a beautiful concept which comes before the novelist, before he started to write this novel. He is just watching a young boy who is whipping a cart horse, a physical abuse cart horse. Cart horse. His pity for the exploited horse reminded him for his sympathy for the exploited working class. See, look at that. That cart horse is compared to, see, the exploited working class. The working class is always meant with the kind of exploitation they have to face. And as usually, Orwell creates a particularly moving scene in portraying the animals' efforts to obliterate the painful reminders of their maltreatment, and the episode stands out from much of the rest of the novel in its richness of detail, in the attention to the bits, the nose rings, for example, the dog chains, the cruel knives. Look at that. These three images you have to notice. These three important terminologies: the nose rings, the dog chains, the cruel knives. These are the powerful weapons. They are used by human beings in order to control the animals as they would like to do so, and a whole host of the other instruments of physical discipline. We see Orwell's profound empathy with the lowest of the low, as well as his intense hatred for physical suffering and its destruction of dignity. See, it is nothing but a destruction of a dignity by the human beings in order to make use of whipping and making use of some other physical torture, beating animals black and blue, slaughtered them, did not show mercy, and more than the brutish kind of a behavior which were shown by the human beings on the animals. See, in short, he eventually serves as Napoleon's ministers of propaganda. Napoleon, as we are observing that that personality is always meant with greed, greed for power, and ultimately, when he gets power, he will corrupt the whole farm with his own form of rules and regulations. Like all patriots and revolutionaries, Snowball is earnest. See, look at that. All patriots in animal farm, he is earnest, he is modest, he is determined to win as many converts to his cause as he can. He tried his level best in order to bring the kind of sympathy, the kind of monarchy, the kind of determined notion inside the animal farm. That is the best quality you can observe in Snowball. So, two animals, however, momentarily fluster him. One is Molly, who is having a concern over sugar and ribbons, is offensive to Snowball. See, he tries to mislead the animals. Molly tries to mislead the animals by provoking them to go to the sugar candy mountain. See there, because he urges his fellow beasts to sacrifice their luxuries. To him, Molly is a shallow materialist, concerned only with her own image and comforts. Snowball tried his level best in order to show what actually the true nature of Molly. He is like a materialist, I mean, she is like a materialist personality, and she concerned only for her own image and comforts. And like Molly, Moses proves exempt to Snowball because Moses fills the heads of the animals with the tails of sugar candy mountain. Again, Moses joined Molly in order to, see that mountain is supposed to be a sugar candy mountain where every animal can enjoy the, freedom there, and they will eat whatever they wish to. And the chapter's final episode involving the buckets of milk hints at the ruthless Napoleon will display as the novel progress. See, this is where an instance that comes inside the chapter second. See the milk that ruthlessly, taken into the consideration by Napoleon. One of the hints suggests that the milk be put into the animals' mash so that all can enjoy it. See, the hens have given some advice and suggestions to the Napoleon. The milk should be placed in the mash in the farm. By that, all animals can have it, and they will share their own part. An animalistic thought, to be sure, since the seventh commandment of animalism states that all animals are equal. See, you can have a notice about this particular terminology. All animals are equal. That you can see in in Heinz's advice to Napoleon. But the Napoleon did not take the advice into the consideration, and he did ultimately whatever he wanted to do. So with this, we will come to an end of this session. And of course, we learnt a lot of things from this session, especially the analysis of the chapter 2, and the comparison of the characters, and the ruthlessness, the despotic behavior of Napoleon, as well as the Squealer, and the very idealistic and smooth and a very good leadership. You can have an observation in the character of Snowball. As usually, some animals mislead the other animals in order to enter into the sugar candy mountain, but ultimately what we can see at the end of the chapter, the milk that should be placed in the midst of all animals, by that all animals will have a will have their own part, so that this will take into the consideration all animals are equal. So with this, I hope you understood the concept. Let's discuss rest of the things in the next session. That's all about today's session. Thank you very much. Happy reading. Stay safe.